there, Natasha from the couch, coming back to you with a question to follow up from our Sunday session. Question number 2 came through on Messenger, and it's a bit of a long one, so let's just quickly go through this. Due to COVID, there had been some restructure in my unit. I now have a manager who I don't know at all. He is managing our team from a distance. I find he is trying to micromanage the team. We haven't had that before. It's difficult as I don't know him at all and he hasn't set expectations clearly. I'm feeling nervous each day to work as I feel like I'm disappointing him. So a few issues in there and kind of complex, and I guess before I answer this, it's really important, if anyone's feeling that way, it's a good idea to seek some support and advice of how to handle it. I mean, no one likes to sort of talk to their boss and say what they're really feeling, because we're worried that they might take offense to it, or they might say something or do something that makes things difficult for us at work. So not knowing the full context, but what I can see here is a question, and I want to unbundle that for you, which is around that micromanagement. Now the thing is, if I was dealing with that, if I'm the employee that's feeling micromanaged, the first question I would ask to myself is, do I think he's aware that he's doing the behaviour? Now, if that person's not aware, I've got a choice. I can either carry on and not let him know that it's making me feel worried and uncertain at work, or I can have a conversation with that person. Now, I know with COVID-19 it's difficult because we're not in front of people, but you can still have difficult conversations using Zoom or Facebook or Messenger, however you can do that to be able to read body language while you're also talking to that person. So how I would do it is I would seek to understand. So rather than just saying, you're making me feel like I'm being micromanaged, the best suggestion is to seek to understand, but use I's. And when you use an I, what you're doing is sharing your point of view. So it's difficult for that person to argue with that, and it's difficult for that person to take offense to that. So for example, I would seek to understand, and I would say, hey, look, I'm feeling like I'm missing some of your expectations. I don't know if that's true for you. I seem to be getting a few emails through that I normally wouldn't get because I've done that work before. Is it fair to say that I'm not meeting your expectations? And so asking questions like that using I statements is a really non-invasive way to raise awareness to the fact you're feeling like there's some micromanagement going on, and you're using personal statements that is just how you're feeling. So my recommendation to you is step 1. Ask yourself the question, is the person aware that they're doing that? If they're not, then seek to understand. That's step number 2. And when you seek to understand, use I statements, because when we use an I statement, it's a really easy way to depersonalize it for the person receiving the feedback. So give it a go.